All right, guys, I just wanted to start on page 104 for your section 4.3 notes, and then we'll go backwards and do a few of the other explorations. But wanted to start with the vocab. So if you take a look at the vocab, try to keep it short. Rotation, a figure turned around a fixed point, and that fixed point is the center of rotation. So when you're talking about a fixed point, we're talking about the center of rotation. So you're rotating something around a center. You can kind of think of our solar system rotating around the sun. So this fixed point would be the sun, and then you get the rotation. So a shape can be rotated around a fixed point. The angle of rotation is how much you're rotating it, how far you're rotating it. We're going to see that you could rotate it positive degrees, which is going to be counterclockwise, and you'll see that there's going to be negative rotations that are going to be clockwise. Rotational symmetry is when a figure can map onto itself. A figure can map onto itself by just turning it around its center point. So if I had a square, one of the probably easiest ones to illustrate it, if you had a center point in the middle of a square and you rotated that square 90 degrees, it would be in exactly the same place it started. And if you can do that with a shape where you rotate a shape less than 360 degrees and it's right back where it looks exactly the same as when it started, that's called rotational symmetry. And the center of the symmetry is the center of the figure itself. You can see it right there. So if you need to, hold on to those vocab, you could pause it now and write those down. I'm going to move on here, keep the video shorter. The core concepts, you can just see what I illustrated. The rotation is a transformation in which a figure is turned about a fixed point called the center of rotation. So that's what a rotation is. What they're doing in this diagram here is they're taking this flag and they're rotating it 40 degrees. And they're just bringing the flag here. You notice it doesn't change. It's a rigid motion. Rigid motion means I'm not changing the shape or the size of the figure. I'm just taking this figure and I'm rotating it 40 degrees, and the fixed point is point P right here. It's rotating around that fixed point. So it's a rotation around a fixed point, and in that case, it's a 40-degree rotation. And you can still see, Q is going to become Q prime. They're going to become prime points. You starting at Q and you're getting to Q prime. You're starting at R, going to R prime. But these are the key things that this is the reason why I had to start on this page, are these rules right here. You have to look at these rules. They're just like the rules that we've had before. They are the formulas that we use. And I added a little piece to it here, but I want to show you that a rotation of 90 degrees. So if you're taking a shape, let's say this dot right here, and you're rotating it 90 degrees. Okay, 90 degrees, and that is counterclockwise. So we're going this direction. If you start at AB, it's going to become negative BA. You can see that 90 degrees right there is negative BA. We could also call this a negative 270 degree rotation, because some rotations are going to be negative, and negative is going to go the opposite direction on your graph. It's going to go down instead of up. So it'll go the opposite direction on your graph. So that would be, if they say negative 270, it's going to be the same rule as 90. And 180 is going to be the same rule as negative 180 degrees. So you could see 180 or negative 180, they're going to be the same. And that's the easier one of them. You're just changing both signs. That's all you're doing for 180. Just taking AB and making it negative A, negative B. The rotation for 90 degrees is kind of a little bit of a challenge, because AB, you've got to switch them around and you got to change the B. So you're going to be, AB is going to become negative BA. And then 270 is the same as negative 90. And I wrote down here that negative 90 just means you're going clockwise 90 degrees. And so AB becomes B negative A. So, and so those are the rules that we're going to use. You're going to see how those are going to come in handy. And again, like I said, a rotation is a rigid motion. It does not change any size or any shape. All right, we'll come back and do the extra practice in a little bit.